What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we have no seats.
No seats.
Lighting's bad?
Lighting's bad, so we decided to move it up. We're giving you a little preview of next week while also reviewing this week, Thor Ragnarok.
This is the 17th entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We are
going on 10 years of MCU almost.
$12 billion later.
Wow.
They spent $3 billion in making. They've made 12.
We got 2 Avengers movies, 3 Iron Man movies, 3 Captain America movies, and now we're getting the 3rd
3 horrors, an Ant-Man.
Yeah,
and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we have all the other stuff too, but finally another trilogy to complete in the MCU. Thor, which, how do you feel about the other Thors? Because those are ones that most people are kind of rocking.
When I first heard they're making a Thor movie, I wasn't familiar with his mythos, other than what he looked like.
So you weren't
like
a big Thor fan?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, neither was I.
And so when I first saw that they were making it, I was like, saw the preview, said, oh, that could be cool.
Yeah.
And I was actually blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, Thor is cool. And then part 2 came out, huge step down. I didn't think that was great. So
I actually liked part 2 better than part 1.
And then what was your thoughts of part 1 though? Did you like it?
I thought part 1 was okay, but I think that like it didn't really kind of communicate him as like a really awesome character yet. And it just felt kind of really small as far as scope. You know, you're at the ending with that big robot in that kind of really small town that feels like almost like that Universal Western set. But to be honest, it just wasn't very memorable. Kenneth Branagh, who's going to be in the Orient Express next week, which you could come to our premiere, directed that. And I thought he tried to do a good job, but it didn't really communicate everything I wanted to. Thor 2 I thought was a little bit more fun at least. But obviously Thor had fallen in the background and kind of in the later installments, and obviously not being a part of Civil War and the Avengers movie not being particularly great, he was also in the background. But he was kind of famous for the banter with Hulk. Now we move to Thor Ragnarok, and directed by Taika Waititi. What did you think of this movie?
Well, absolutely, for sure, the best Thor of the 3.
Yes.
For me, solid 8 out of 10. You know what? Because this is my second time seeing it.
Yes.
And I think, I don't know, maybe it could even be maybe a 9 out of 10. Like the second view, I just really, really enjoyed it. The only criticism I could say, which isn't even on me, is because there's so much comedy, literally in every scene of every other dialogue.
And there's so many different characters who are bringing comedy.
Yes. Yeah, it's not just Thor.
Yeah.
I could see certain people saying it was too much.
Funny.
For me, though, non-stop, I loved it. I was smiling the whole time. I was loving it. You know, banana in my mouth sideways type of I'm just like loving it. And they hit Thor the right way. He's funny as heck, and you know, I just loved this movie so much. Definitely, it's giving me. I have a feeling, unless all of a sudden there's a huge mainstream over the next 2 months of movies taking over.
Which is possible.
It is.
It's very possible.
Oscar time. We have Star Wars, obviously. That's a foregone conclusion. Justice League, I'm hoping. But anyway, we're talking about Thor. Yeah, that movie looks freaking amazing.
Great.
But yeah, overall though, honestly, Thor Ragnarok. Cate Blanchett. Well, I guess we'll do. Okay, so Cate Blanchett, probably one of the more memorable and one of the better villains that we've had, in my opinion.
Yeah, one of the only female villain in the
oh, definitely movie. The only female, but one of the better.
Easily one of the most memorable. I totally agree with you.
You think she's? I don't know if it's a spoiler. No?
Well, we'll get into spoilers halfway through.
We'll talk about that.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. Easily the best
Loki
Thor
was
film.
Great.
I think in which this movie really strides is that they take the character and the franchise and kind of reboot it. Like, this isn't a reboot like Spider-Man: Homecoming, but they were like, okay, this dark, very serious God of Thunder and the very serious Thor movies aren't working. Lord of Thunder, isn't working very well, so let's kind of change it up. And they change it up, and I think it really, really worked.
You're so proud of your director.
I am. I'm a huge fan of Taika Waititi, so this might seem biased, but I thought he did a great job with this franchise. I thought he really brought a lot of fun out. I think it's high energy, and it's just kind of everything the other Thor movies aren't. It has this grandstand of adventure, and while maybe it could have been a little bit shorter to just be a little bit more just a little bit tighter, I enjoyed. I laughed the entire time. I had a good time. I appreciated the fact that not every movie has to be, cough Zack Snyder, serious and dark and heavy. You know, like, I just appreciated this one. Hey, let's have fun. And they brought Thor back into the mainstream of kind of like, you know, I'm here too. He's a part of it, and his chemistry with Loki, as you were bringing up, Tom Hiddleston, who's just, you know, been killing it in the last 3 movies, probably even more so than Chris Hemsworth. I will say though, I think Chris Hemsworth works far better as the charming comedian than he does as the stone-faced Lord of Thunder, God of Thunder. This gives him way more opportunity to shine and be way more likable And that's what I walked away from. I walked away liking this character more. I walked away wanting to see more Thor. And I mean, you can't ask much more of that for being that third in the trilogy. It's very rare movies get better as they go on. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Planet of the Apes, which third installment was also my favorite. But this is easily, hands down, the best Thor movie.
Amazing.
Yeah. Helena, I thought also Hela also really good, you know, very memorable, like you said. I think the action sequences are there, and also changing the tone to be funny and to be light makes the more emotional moments hit harder. You know, if everything was so dark, those moments between Loki and Thor that are really kind of heavy and serious won't hit as hard. But they do, because we're going from laughing now into this kind of serious mindset. Always good seeing Hulk. You know, another character that kind of always falls by the wayside, having this role. He gets to be funny in this movie too.
And he talks.
Yeah, a lot. As Ken pointed out, he said a little bit too much. I didn't mind it. I mean, that was good. He cracked me up a lot of the time, like
and
most
it was
characters.
Funny,
what did you think about the
Tessa Thompson?
Yes.
I loved her. Yeah, she's
everyone was really good in this movie.
Yeah, she was BA, and then, you know, they all, I don't know if you know, during the Marvel event that they were doing like a promo commercial thing for Infinity War, Tessa Thompson, and then Captain Marvel, and then literally every girl that was ever in the MCU as a character went up to him and said, "So what do you think about doing an all-female movie?" So that and he said yes.
Well, let me tell you, yes, while I laughed a lot and I had a lot of fun, and I think this movie is great as a comedy, there's one action sequence that I think is bar none the best in this movie, and it's not the main climax. It's actually a flashback scene where the Valkyries are fighting Hela earlier in a flashback, and it is shot it is just shot beautifully. And see, that's the thing, is where it does a style that does look kind of familiar to what Justice League is trying to implement in the trailers, and what DC's been trying to implement. It
reminded me of the opening scene also of Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, but it's picking and choosing those moments, and in that light, funny tone, that one serious moment of this really intense slow-mo fight, it works brilliantly. What about the Grandmaster?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
like
great.
literally every scene is just hilarious, and then the huge hologram, and he's all talking to the city, and I don't think right now I can't think of anything I just didn't like about the movie.
I totally agree with you. The only thing I could hear people saying is it was trying to be too funny. It was too much comedy, because there are so many characters, and even added characters only with the intention of being funny. Taika Waititi, the director, also has a cameo in this movie playing Krung. A rock-like character.
The rock character, yeah.
The rock-like character, who is just, if you are a fan of his, you know his humor. It's just him all the way, and it makes it even more enjoyable. But every character is funny. Want to get into spoilers a little bit? Okay. So what were you saying? I was
going to mention Matt Damon's cameo.
Yes.
What the hell did that even come from? Like,
which I think might be a little bit tough for some fans, because it kind of breaks the conceit of like being in that world, and then all of a sudden seeing Matt Damon. It's like, oh, I forgot this is a movie. No, I thought it was funny. I think it's good that these movies can kind of poke fun with themselves and do that. The scene when Anthony Hopkins kind of literally rides off into the sunset was quite heartbreaking, but I liked it. I appreciated these moments where he kind of comes back and communicates with Thor. It was probably one of their strongest moments together in the trilogy. Hela.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. Do you think she's dead?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I would hope not.
I hope not, because she was like the only, honestly, Red Skull, which I like.
Yeah.
But it was just, that was a waste.
And we've always complained
Ultron
that Marvel kills off their villains
Ultron
way
was
too
stupid.
eagerly. Yeah. Well, Ultron was awful, but
Yeah,
they kill off
stupid.
their villains way too easily, and it's always for good, and that's just not how it works in the comic book world. They should always kind of keep them around, and that was a character that I would love to see
that's why
again.
I mean, like in comic books, they never die. No one ever dies. So why do you have to kill every bad person?
No, and I would love if any character I'd like to see back, it'd be her.
Yep.
So Thor goes through some major cosmetic surgeries in this movie.
Yeah, what the frick?
Not only does he get his hair cut by Stan Lee himself, which is a great cameo.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
He loses his eye and ends up becoming more like his father Odin, and pretty much loses everything.
Does Doctor Strange give the back to him?
I don't know.
Or does he have that ability?
I would assume he has that ability, but I don't know.
You can't look that good as Chris Hemsworth and not have an eye.
But I don't know if he has the ability to like do that without undoing everything else.
Got it.
You know, Doctor Strange, who also has a cameo in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Who I really like, but I have to say, does kind of look like a cosplayer sometimes. His outfit doesn't really like feel real yet. Like it doesn't feel like believable. Or Black Panthers, 100% believe that thing exists.
No, that is.
You know, but his kind of looks like a cosplay with like the dishwashing gloves. I
think it's clowning, bro.
No, but I like him, and the character's great. But yeah, I mean, I'm like, it was kind of like almost Empire Strikes Back-esque. We're like, yeah, we've made it and we're gonna get away, but Thor is like in a complete disarray. I mean, he's lost his father, he's lost his eye, lost his hair, lost everything that he's known, lost his home. And it's like, where does this character go now? And of course, his brother, the Lord of Mischief, or the God of Mischief, has now caused even more trouble with bringing on a villain we're going to be seeing in Infinity War.
Did you see the bootleg Infinity War Comic-Con trailer?
I did, but when
so
it
the
first
opening
happened,
scene of that
is
the ending of the end credit scene. So it's interesting because when the Guardians of the Galaxy pick him up,
yeah,
it's like obviously
we don't know how.
Obviously, he didn't kill them because that would be dumb to kill all of Asgard.
Yeah,
and Loki and all
but
that,
he's
and
definitely
we know
gonna do
that.
some damage.
Yeah, because he's in space and Rocket Raccoon.
Which is
picks him
interesting
up.
because now Marvel with the end credit of Doctor Strange, right?
Yes, was
in this movie, and
yeah.
they've never done that before. Usually they're extra scenes. This was actually like literally a clip from this movie, and I wonder if we're going to keep going that direction, which is a little bit more interesting because now we're kind of getting a more taste and a little bit more of a teaser.
At the end credits when it says Thor will be back in Infinity War, dude, I got like goosebumps. You know,
No, and I honestly,
in February we have Black Panther,
which is
and
going
then-
to be amazing.
Oh, yeah, Black Panther's probably
I
gonna be
hope
like,
that is going to be
It's
so.
probably gonna blow everybody else away
Yeah.
and literally be like top tier of Marvel.
But I
heroes.
mean, after this movie, I am more of a Thor fan. I am excited to see where they go with the character, and easily one of my favorite Marvel movies of the entire cinematic universe. So I'm really behind this movie, and I couldn't recommend it more. And going into now Infinity War and Black Panther, the stake with Civil War, Spider-Man, and this. Stakes are up there. Like the stakes are getting higher and higher,
And
I
we
really
love
hope they
steak.
bring it home. Yeah, absolutely. Medium rare, please.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about in this
No,
movie?
I'm just pumped.
I'm good.
Watch the movie.
Absolutely great movie, Thor Ragnarok. Easily the God of Thunder's most electrifying installment yet.
Oh, I see what you did there.
yeah. So,
Well, in other words, though, this movie was hella good.
ooh, I love it.
Okay,
He's dropping the hammer.
All right, in 7 days from today, this November is just stacked. We just
Yes.
had an amazing Thor. Now, hopefully,
We're on the train, we're on the Orient Express, and trying to find out who killed somebody.
yeah, we don't actually
We're
know.
finding
yeah.
a murderer.
We don't know who.
Based on Agatha Christie's classic novel, we have Murder on the Orient Express, which is filled with an all-star cast.
Like, boom, 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 boom.
Daisy Ridley, Josh Gad, all the names you can see behind
Johnny
us.
Depp.
Super excited for that. The following week,
Penelope Cruz, my
we
wife.
hopefully have the turning point. We have the change in the DC universe. But the argument of like what's going to take the month, Thor or Justice League, I will say again, the stakes are up.
Well, now that I saw this, oh man, Justice League has a lot of work, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I believe we close out the month with Coco. And then we get into December, and before you know it, we're going to have Star Wars, The Disaster Artist, and much more Academy Award-winning movies. So I am pumped up.
These next
Ready.
8 weeks, bro, is just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
If I don't see you, Brian Robinson, be mad.
Yeah, Brian.
8 weeks.
All right.
Okay, we'll be back 7 days.
Yes.
And ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.